Hello, Swans. Have you ever left an important conversation and felt like they didn't hear what you needed them to hear? They didn't understand what you needed them to understand? That is true for most of us. And if that is true, the opposite is also true. How many times does the other person not understand what we were really trying to say? My name is Angela Shallow. I'm the founder of SWAN, and today we're talking with Nicole Durga of Development and Progress. She's one of our speakers for SWAN Con 24, and she's going to share a little bit with us about this concept of purposeful communication. Nicole, thank you for being here. Tell us what people can expect to learn from your purposeful communication workshop.
Well, thank you for having me. I'm very excited for SWAN Con 2024. And some takeaways from the workshop on purposeful communication. One of them is going to be a better understanding of ourselves. The second takeaway will be a different perspective on those we interact with and communicate with. And the third takeaway will be, how do you put those two things together with kind of like a strategy that you can implement in all kinds of different situations.
Okay, good. Share an example of a time that this did or didn't work.
Sure, I'll go with the time that it did not work.
Okay,
so
those are more fun.
They are more fun, and it's a work-related one. My boss had weekly meetings with our team, and they were very collaborative, and his boss decided to start coming to them, and they changed. They went from collaborative to my boss just giving us information, and after about the third one, I was a little frustrated and annoyed, and I, at the end of the meeting, said, is this what we can expect from these meetings moving forward? Because this could have been an email. Shouldn't have said it that way. So I realized it after I put my foot in my mouth. I called my boss after the meeting and said, hey, I want to circle back on this, want to apologize. That was not the best way to get across my confusion on what these meetings are going to be moving forward, because this is not what they have been in the past, and I just wanted to clarify, what should I be expecting? And my boss said, I'm not upset, I know you, I knew this came from a good place, but my boss texted me and was like, does she always talk like this in meetings? Because he did not know me. So I ended up reaching out to my boss's boss once I got things cleared up with my boss and said the same thing, wanted to level set, hey, I fully am aware that making that statement in the meeting in front of a bunch of people was not the best way to have a communication and get my questions answered by my boss. And thankfully it worked out okay. My boss's boss said he respected that I reached out to him and that he appreciated that I shared my perspective and asked a question. A lot of his team members would not have done that. So it worked out okay. Learning lesson for me, but it was definitely a massive growth opportunity, which has led to a lot of the different strategies we'll be talking about at SWAN Con 2024. So that you guys don't put your foot in your mouth and do the same thing, whether it's a work meeting or maybe a conversation with a loved one as well, because those can be even more challenging.
Yeah, so I can absolutely see where what you were intending to happen from that comment, the initial result was polar opposite, but you did the work to turn it around, to get your positive result in the end. And who hasn't been in a meeting that they thought this could be an email, right?
Yeah, they're just not saying it. They're just not saying it.
Just not saying it. Well, or at least it's not advisable.
But,
unless you're going for shock value. And yet, personal applications as well, which is awesome because we know that people have, challenges communicating with their spouse, their parents, their children, their friends. There's so many people in our lives, and good communication is the foundation of our relationships, personal and professional. So this is clearly important. So for the person who is watching this video and trying to decide whether or not to register for SWAN Con, why should they just go for it? Why should they come to SWAN Con, hear this presentation? How is it going to have a positive impact on them?
Absolutely, great question. So if you have ever walked away from a conversation going, that didn't go the way I was hoping it did, that person did not understand my perspective, maybe you feel very misunderstood, you're going to come to this conference and walk away with tools to help limit how often that is happening, or hopefully eliminate it altogether with some different strategies you can implement in a variety of different conversations.
Because it's a journey. right? Learning good communication skills, learning to understand ourselves and who we are, all of that is a journey. And so this could be the next step and take you to your next milestone, which would be awesome.
We're all a development in progress, and this will just be some new tools or a different perspective on some tools you may already have in your toolbox moving forward.
Sounds great. Well, thank you so much. Look forward to seeing you at SWAN Con 24. And if you would like to attend SWAN Con 24, the registration link will be available with this video, and we hope to see you there.